David, Victoria Beckham put on united front after his alleged mistress Rebecca Luce says he's playing victim. Beckham and Luce alleged affair happened while the footballer was playing for Real Madrid. David and Victoria Beckham have seemingly time-traveled back to 2003, when their relationship was highly publicized and tarnished with affair rumors. But the couple is once again proving they are a united front. The former footballer and Spice Girl have sparked headlines in the aftermath of their docuseries release, where the famously private couple give an inside look into their 26-year relationship and the highs and lows they've endured. This included allegations that David cheated on Victoria with his personal assistant Rebecca Luce, a narrative David has always denied. In the Netflix documentary Beckham, a barrage of printed headlines are shown on screen, including claims of secret sex, alleged affair, and marriage crisis. A producer asked David how he survived that period of such intense public scrutiny. "I don't know how we got through it, in all honesty," he admitted. "Victoria's everything to me. To see her hurt was incredibly difficult. But, we're fighters. And at that time we needed to fight for each other, and we needed to fight for our family. And what we had was worth fighting for. But ultimately, it's our private life. Made up these horrible stories. I'm the one that's made Victoria suffer. Poor him. He's had nothing to do with this. And it was so awful," she revealed in an interview with the Daily Mail. "I think it's one thing if you don't want to take responsibility for things at home because of your family and your children, that's absolutely fine, and if he hadn't even mentioned any of that and just said it was a tough time for us and moved on, I wouldn't be here today," she said of her decision to speak out. If he was going to touch on this time and how difficult it would have been really nice for him to have said, "Not my proudest time. It was a tough time for us." Something like that. Just maybe a little bit of acknowledgement. Or no acknowledgement at all and don't even touch the subject. I never received any closure. If somebody had just called me, if he had just called me and said, "I'm so sorry, how can we fix this?" things would be so different. I was made to look like a liar. I felt like I had to continue to defend myself. Luce says this all happened after David was sent to play for Real Madrid. She says she was hired by the team to help David acclimate to a new city. She was soon enlisted in finding David and his family a home, proper schools for their children, and other Spain-based things. At one point, Luce says Victoria told her to communicate with only her. Luce then alleges that David started texting her late at night while he was away in Asia, and after learning from Luce she had been given instructions not to talk to him, he told her, "We don't have to tell anyone." The stories were horrible, but they were true. And he's the one who is responsible for all of this. He's the one who's responsible for his wife's suffering. He's the one that decides to lie to her, to say we don't have to tell my wife. He's made all those choices. Just days after Luce's explosive new interview, David and Victoria proved they are a strong couple, holding hands as they left an A-list packed dinner in Miami. They were joined by their oldest son Brooklyn, and his wife Nicola, as they dined with soccer star Lionel Messi and his wife. Representatives for the Beckhams did not immediately respond to SSN24 News Digital's request for comment. Luce told the Daily Mail that her relationship with Beckham ultimately soured when she learned from his bodyguard that he was sharing their very dirty texts with friends. "I was very hurt and that pain lead me to become more laissez-faire and to not give a s about keeping this big secret for him when he's treating me like that. I've very much accepted the choices that I've made, the mistakes that I've made," she continued, admitting that her own family was a big motivator for speaking out. "This is why I have decided after giving it many days thought to speak. If I don't speak, if I remain silent, I will be known as the liar, the one who made up the stories. And I also have a family and I also have children and they also have Google. They can also watch documentaries. And I want them to know that their mother was brave enough to stand up against them, to stand up for the truth."